but we're below the national average in number of deaths in nursing homes. But who cares? 33, 28, died in a hospital, died in a nursing home. They died.
Joining us to discuss, former Governor of New York, George Pataki. Governor, thanks for joining us this morning. We do appreciate it. I can see you shaking your head there, as I'm sure many people tuning in and listening to those comments are doing as well. Your thoughts on the remarks that Governor Cuomo made about whether people died in a hospital or died in a nursing home? People died. Those remarks, your thoughts?
The concept that who cares is just virtually cruel. Because the families of now, I guess it's more than 12,000 New Yorkers who died in nursing homes or because of nursing homes and the wrong-headed policy of this administration, they all care. And anybody who wants to see this not happen again, the next time we have a pandemic or something like that, they care. So I would say virtually everyone wants to know the truth about what happened. And now a Democratic Attorney General has blown the lid off, the cover off, the delusion that thousands of people who were infected in nursing homes didn't really die there. They're just playing defense, and it's hard to defend that the great communicator was not telling the truth to the people of New York and the people of America. It's very sad.
Yeah, we just want the truth, just want the facts, and maybe even a little bit of empathy. Right? Goodness, could we at least see that from the governor, maybe owning up to some mistakes? But as you know, throughout the pandemic, Governor Cuomo was praised by major media outlets. He wrote a book on handling the virus. He won an Emmy for his briefings. He appeared almost invincible to this criticism. And so I'll ask you, were you surprised that, in fact, Attorney General Letitia James did announce this investigation?
No, I wasn't surprised at all. It was obvious to me back in March that the policy of requiring nursing homes to take COVID-positive patients was just complete insanity, and it was going to result in unnecessary deaths, and it has. And the fact that the government was covering up those deaths also doesn't surprise me, because we really haven't gotten the true story of what's happening. And I give credit to Attorney General James, a Democrat, who conducted this investigation and was very courageous in the face of the governor's wrath in going out there and saying, these are the facts, this is the truth. But I have to tell you, there's another story here. Since March, 9 of the top professionals in the New York State Health Department have quit, including all the key people dealing with epidemiology and immunology, because they have been ignored by the governor's office. So when you have a pandemic, when the experts are called upon, and this is what they prepared their lives for, all quitting, 9 of them, 9 of the top ones quitting, because they're being ignored by the politicians in the governor's office. It just points out what a tragedy the response in New York to the COVID crisis has been.
Makes you wonder, too, for those families who lost their loved ones because of the governor's order. Let's see, we'll make sure that we have Governor Pataki connecting with us. But it does make you wonder, of course, Governor, if you're still on the line, if there could be any sort of accountability, any sort of justice we could see for these families. Do you think we could see some sort of, at least recognition from Governor Cuomo going forward?
Well, you'd certainly hope so, because they have suffered needlessly. And I think at the very least, be open and honest that the state made a mistake, and acknowledge that you made a mistake, and acknowledge that you're going to look to get all the facts so that no one has to die needlessly next time we have a crisis. So I don't know. I can't speak for the governor's office as to whether that will actually happen, but an apology, an understanding, and as you just said, some empathy for the families who have lost their loved ones because of this wrong-headed policy would certainly help.
Do you think we'll expect to see a challenger coming in 2022 to run against Governor Cuomo that could be a serious contender here?
You know, I think there will be a lot of challengers come 2022. And one of the interesting things is he'll have a challenge from the left, as will Senator Schumer. You know, the Democratic Party, everybody points that the Republican Party has this crisis because of Donald Trump's looming presence. The Democratic Party has a crisis between its radical left wing and its liberal wing. And I think you're going to see very possibly both Senator Schumer and Governor Cuomo challenged from the left. And, you know, I was listening to your earlier report about the 5 o'clock meeting with the 10 Republican moderates who want to pass a bipartisan COVID relief bill. That meeting is going to really tell a lot. Is it Bernie Sanders and AOC who are running the Biden administration, or is it candidate Biden who said he wanted to work in a bipartisan way? If there's no progress made, if President Biden just decides he's going to ram through his $1.9 trillion Christmas tree, we'll know that it's Bernie Sanders and AOC running this administration and not the bipartisan candidate Biden who ran for office saying he would reach across the aisle.
Yeah, we'll see if he does, in fact, remain moderate here or allows these progressive voices to really guide his administration. Let's stay with the state of New York, if you don't mind, because we are learning that the governor has said he's reopening restaurants for indoor dining 25% on Valentine's Day. He's also loosening some restrictions on weddings. I know, but sort of back to the restaurants. I mean, dining, as we know, is so iconic in New York City. Is it too late for some of these restaurants with only 25% 2 weeks from now?
It's too late. It's too late for many of them. Something is better than nothing. And some of them will be able to survive because of this. But, you know, this is just classic. We're going to reopen at 25% capacity in 2 weeks because Valentine's Day. Oh, it sounds so nice. You can take your wife or your sweetheart out for Valentine's Day. What's going to be different in 2 weeks from today? Does the governor have a crystal ball that shows that over the next 2 weeks the virus is going to really go down a lot? Why can't we reopen today? And we should have reopened a couple of months ago. If you look at all the data, it doesn't come from spreading massively because restaurants are open. In the rest of the state, they're open at 50% capacity. It's in New York City where we have the problem. So this is another example where the governor just rules by what he thinks of. Oh, Valentine's Day, what a perfect day. So meanwhile, the 300,000 plus waiters and kitchen workers and other restaurant workers are unemployed for a little longer, and more restaurants are going to just say, this is ridiculous, we are going to go out of business. It's really sad.
Yeah, you feel for all of those struggling businesses right now, just trying to find some relief. That's former Governor of New York, George Pataki, joining us live here on National Report. Governor, thank you. You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel.